Alright, so it's been a couple weeks since the election and people have had a lot of opinions on the outcome. I've heard what everyone's had to say and there's still some things that I want to address now that I've taken care of everything. Like I said before, it would take at least a week to even get started because I had to take care of priorities and shit. Now that I've finished my jewelry, I'll do this and then give that update on the microphone and everything. Thanks for your patience. So before we get started, I just wanted to address one thing first. In this video, you're going to be seeing me use a lot of people's own logic against them. Sadly, I have to start saying this now before people start mistaking it for hypocrisy. So for example, if someone says, "get over it," and in return I say, "get over it," and explain how their own logic is against them, for you to call me a hypocrite shows that you clearly don't understand the concept of by your own logic. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about in the election is the election itself. We've pretty much gotten all the information that we're going to need by now. Trump won with the Electoral College, even though Hillary won with the popular vote. Jill Stein and Gary Johnson didn't reach 5%, therefore they are not eligible for federal funding. Now to get to what's more important, the reactions. We've got a mixed bag of shit to sift through because everyone's got an opinion. That's how life is, so let's just delve right into it. And please remember that this is not a witch hunt. I'm only responding to a few people in particular because they're good examples of arguments that I want to point out. If I responded to everyone, I'd be here all year. The first person that we're going to look at is a woman by the name of Jacqueline Glenn. We're going to look at 3 of her videos because in her update she continuously revised the points in her first one. Plus they're real short, so I count it as one conversation.
Just watched Hillary's concession speech and I was actually live streaming it. Donald Trump doesn't even believe that there is climate change.
But doesn't it make you worse if you know what climate change is and you don't want to do anything about it? Matter of fact, you want to make it worse?
I miss Bernie still. I wonder if he would have won.
He would have won, but I'm going to get back to that part later.
I feel like the anti-Hillary sentiment was almost too strong from Bernie fans and now we're paying for it. People who voted third party, I get it, I get you, but you essentially did not vote third party, you voted for Trump. So if that's not the outcome you wanted, then you shouldn't, I don't know.
Rachel Maddow was talking about the same thing, and this issue has been so heavily debunked to the point where I can't even believe people are still making this argument to this day. If I were to say everything that I want to say in response to this, I'd probably be here for far too long. So I'm gonna quote Kyle because he does a really good job of summing up the most crucial points, and he does it really quickly too.
Okay. That is all bullshit. One fact destroys that entire argument. 9% of Democrats voted for Donald Trump. 9%! Why didn't you tweet something about how if these fucking 9% of Democrats didn't vote for Donald Trump and they voted for Hillary, we would have won. We would have won. Why didn't you tweet that? You want to know why? It doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is, I have to be against third-party voters. I have to punch down at third-party voters. I have to say, that's stupid, and scoff at them. So I'll just single out them. Buy into the duopoly, buy into the Democrats versus Republicans, blame the third-party voters, and not allow anything else into the analysis. Not allow anything else in. Now, by the way, the same thing happened. There were more Democrats that voted for George W. Bush in Florida than Nader voters. And they blame Nader voters for George Bush winning the election and Al Gore losing. Why aren't you angry at them? Again, because it doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is fuck third parties. Did you know if every single Jill Stein voter voted for Hillary Clinton, she still would have lost?
1.7% of people voted for Gary Johnson, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
Like, oh, and if half of Gary Johnson supporters went... Okay, well, why would you include half of Gary Johnson supporters as potential votes for Hillary Clinton? You made that up. The Libertarian candidate usually takes from potential Republican voters.
Which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but whenever you take into consideration that Hillary and Trump were so close, who knows?
Everyone who was being objective. Oh, but it was in the heat of the moment. She's trying to revise it now. Without addressing or trying to make up for the fact that she blamed third-party voters. And right before this, she said,
Hashtag Not My President is going crazy on Twitter. I am with you guys, I feel your pain, but grow up. I understand that the point of saying this is that you don't personally identify with him, whatever, I get it, I'm with ya, but he's still your president. We need some kind of sense of unity moving forward, and right now everything is so divided. People are being so ugly and it sucks.
People who voted third party, I get it, I get you. You essentially did not vote third party, you voted for Trump.
Did you not just create a divide when blaming third parties for no good reason? So now that you're over it, you think everyone else needs to be too? Why do people have to follow your timing?
I've also had friends of mine tell me that they've seen Trump supporters running around highly liberal areas screaming about how all the Mexicans are fucked and about how they plan on grabbing all the pussy. I've never really understood the riot mentality. He won, everyone needs to grow the fuck up. If you're protesting or if you're running around screaming in the middle of the night about politics, just stop. I don't care what side you're on, okay? Just stop.
Just because some Trump supporters are saying some stupid shit doesn't mean that everyone's protest is just as stupid. You have Bernie supporters saying Bernie, Bernie, and Hillary supporters screaming I'm with her, hating each other while banded together against a common enemy. That was the point of the protests, showing the government that the left is galvanized against Trump. We don't all need to agree, we just need to work together. And people are also protesting in order to put pressure on the Electoral College who are going to be casting their votes on December 19th. So there actually is a decent reason for people to be protesting. You yourself said that you know that they don't actually believe Trump isn't their president, so you're contradicting yourself constantly in your own video. It just sounds like you have a problem with the noise that you heard outside of your window.
And to all the people angrily tweeting or angrily posting on Facebook and venting their frustrations, carry on. Vent away. Put all of your feelings out into the internet, into the abyss of the internet where no one probably gives a shit. But now more than ever, I feel like I have purpose. I mean, fuck. That's what YouTube channels like this are for. It's for people to come together as a community, whether they agree or disagree, to discuss important issues. I just want people to talk about this shit.
So do people on the internet care or do they not care? It sounds like they only care when it's to your benefit and then they don't care when you want people to stop saying shit.
I don't think ugly behavior and insults really is the best way to approach this kind of thing.
Isn't that most of your channel?
I'm not contributing to that. I'm going to continue to make videos, pointing out my disgust with most things Republican related, as I have been doing for the last, 5 or 6 years on YouTube. But that's very different because this is my channel. People subscribe. People know what they're going to get when they come here.
Also, it's different because you do it all the time and everyone else is doing it some of the time. So because you've been doing it for 5 or 6 years, you're not contributing. You're contributing more than anyone else. But people should just expect it from you, so that makes it okay. Basically what you're saying is, well, they're causing a divide some of the time and it's random. I cause a divide all the time and that's why it's okay.
I am with you guys. I feel your pain.
What?
I am with you guys. I feel your pain. I understand. I get it. I'm with ya. And I know people are protesting the Electoral College too, trying to say, well, it's not over yet. They could still vote for Hillary. Guys, it's too late. People are sending me petitions and stuff to share about the Electoral College, and it's like, you should have done that before your guy lost.
For you to tell people to give up shows exactly why no one should be listening to you on how to handle their political issues. If you believe in something, you need to fight for it. If there's still some sort of opportunity, then you should fight for what you believe in. You're never supposed to fight for things because they're easy or it's likely to happen. This doesn't sound like someone who fights for things. So if people are trying to sign petitions, if people are trying to protest, trying to say, hey, let's have them flip their votes, then that's what they should do. You should always fight. Leaders never give up. And I'm gonna go into this later, but that's my main point. For you to tell everyone to give up shows that you're the one who needs to grow up. To give up because it seems like it's unlikely. You tell people to give up with third parties. You're telling people to give up with this petition thing for December 19th. And even if Hillary doesn't become president because they don't flip the votes, which is likely, even if she doesn't become president and Trump is still president, you can't tell those people to give up just because the odds are against them. You shouldn't have told people to vote for Bernie then.
I've always hated the Electoral College. It is what we have had in place and what we had in place before the election started. That's like playing a game and then losing and then trying to change the rules after you've already lost.
And it's in the rules that they can switch their votes too. That's part of the rules too.
You have to go into the game with the rules laid out that you want and then play it fair and square. And in this case, even though she got the popular vote, she still lost according to the rules that the country agreed on before going into the damn thing. And I don't like it just as much as everybody else doesn't like it. But it is what it is. He is your president. Get over it. Grow up.
They're still playing the game. By the rules. Throughout this entire video, you have listed things that have been heavily debunked multiple times while walking on both sides of the spectrum. You want to play good cop and bad cop at the same time, telling people to get over it but trying to sympathize with their feelings, and it just doesn't fucking work. If you had researched half of the shit that you brought up, you wouldn't even brought them up in the video. Which is why I don't understand how someone should come to you for political advice. Because you're not even doing the research that you should be doing. When it comes to Bernie winning, the protests, third parties, you name it. You talk about people not helping anything when you're spreading misinformation. And you just keep contradicting yourself over and over again. But at this point, I feel like it's a lost cause and I don't really have anything else to say.
We need some kind of sense of unity moving forward. Grow up. I mean, I just want people to talk about this shit. People angrily tweeting or angrily posting and venting their frustrations. Carry on. Vent away. People tweeting hashtag not my president. Stop. I understand that the point of saying this is that you don't personally identify with him, whatever. I don't know what reality you're living in, but it's not this one. People want to be sad. Let them fucking be sad. Let me be sad, okay? We're not rioting. Hillary lost. Okay, that 1.7% could have come in handy. But that's assuming everyone who would have voted third party would have voted for her, which isn't something that we can prove anyway. I am with you guys. I feel your pain. Get over it. Grow up. I don't care what side you're on, okay? Put all of your feelings out into the internet, into the abyss of the internet where no one probably gives a shit. That's what YouTube channels like this are for. It's for people to come together as a community to discuss important issues. I don't think ugly behavior and insults really is the best way to approach this kind of thing. Everyone needs to grow the fuck up. And I'm not contributing to that. I'm going to continue to make videos, pointing out my disgust with most things Republican related, as I have been doing for the last, like 5 or 6 years on YouTube. And I hope you guys are here to voice your opinions, whether or not they agree with me. It doesn't matter what I say. They want me to stop talking. They want me to shut up. Just stop. Everyone needs to grow the fuck up.